Hello there everyone, and today is day 12 of my Mediavent calendar, so we're halfway now. And what does this mean? Let's take a look at some Dreamcast games. So yeah, this time I'm going to take a look at all my Dreamcast games that I own. So, and I'm going to do all of these in release date order, so I'll be able to know what the release dates are. So first of all we have UEFA Striker, developed by Rage Software and published by Infogrames, released on November 26th, 1999. So this is a football game. I'm not a fan of football games, but yeah, you get the picture. And it was also on the PlayStation. But yeah, one of the many titles from Rage Software. It's also known as Striker Pro 2000 in the US. Next up is a classic, Worms Armageddon, developed by Team 17 and published by Hasbro Interactive. Microprose, whatever. Released on December the 10th, 1999. So this is actually the only Hasbro Interactive title released in the UK in Europe on the Dreamcast. All the others were US exclusive. I do own them, but they're all burned discs, so yeah, you get the picture. Here's the disc. It's got what the warning. It's got the Worms 0 on it. And then there's the manual. And the back of the manual is nothing special. It's just generic Dreamcast back. Next up is Jimmy White's 2 Cue Ball, developed by Awesome Developments and published by Virgin Interactive and released on January the 7th, 2000. So this is a video game endorsed by by Jimmy White. Although he does not appear in this game at all. He does appear in Cue Ball World, the sequel to this game, which was a PC exclusive. But other than that, it's just simple pub games on the Dreamcast. It was also on the PlayStation and PC, but the PlayStation version is garbage. This Dreamcast version isn't that bad, but be honest with you, I think these kind of games work better on a computer than anything else. It is an Archer McLean game, so you will have a feeling it will be fine. It has a massive manual too. And then here's the disc. Oh, I forgot to mention about Worms Armageddon. That's also on the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 and PC and a couple of other platforms. Next up is Shadow Man, developed by Acclaim Studios T-Side, published by Acclaim Entertainment, and released on January the 14th, 2000. So this is a Dreamcast port of the PC game of the same name, which is usually classified as a cult classic nowadays, and it has been re-released, and it was also on the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. But those versions remove content and cut out a lot of the language in the game. And it has an ad for South Park Rally on the back as well. Yeah, the hinges have broken off on my copy. Here's the disc, and then you have the manual, and then you have a little Acclaim catalogue that has their titles in it. Yeah, I don't really like these kind of jewel cases because they break so easily because of how fragile the plastic is. Next up is, what is this title, you may ask? It's Revolt. I don't have the front cover to this one. So this is developed by Acclaim Studios London, published by Acclaim Entertainment, released on February 11th, 2000. So this is a kart racing game with RC vehicles. It's one of my favourite retro games. I just love how it plays and all that. I just love it for some reason. Don't know how many hours I spent into this game altogether. But how many hours I've spent, it was surely worth it. Here's another game that's also quite fun, Crazy Taxi, developed by Hitmaker, published by Sega, and released on February 25th, 2000. So yep, an arcade game port from Sega's Naomi cabinet. The Dreamcast port was one of the main reasons why a lot of people got Dreamcasts, because of how awesome this game is. It's so fun. Driving around, you cause total chaos and deliver customers to their destinations right on time. Here's the disc, and Oh, no! Ah, that's silly mum. She just had to do that, didn't she? Anyways, back to what I was saying. Guessing you ignored all of that. So anyways, that's Crazy Taxi. Quite a lot of fun, really. So next up is Slave Zero, developed by Infogrames North America, published by Infogrames, released on March 24th, 2000. So this is a port of a PC game of the same name, and it's not a very good one. It's one of those games that was basically rushed to store shelves to coincide with the Dreamcast launch, even though this was not a launch title in the UK. It was released months later, hence why you can see the newer Infogrames logo on there. But still, it doesn't help that this, as I said, just get the PC version somehow, not this Dreamcast port. Otherwise, you'll be suffering. And somehow the current owners of Slave Zero, whatever the company's name is, made an even worse prequel game that has nothing to do with the original. Yeah, milking out a nostalgic game. That's what most companies do. Next up, V-Rally 2 Expert Edition, developed by Eden Studios, published by Infogrames, released on 26th of May 2000. Ah, look at this. The Expert Edition of V-Rally 2 on the PlayStation. And I have a burned copy because my regular copy does not work. But don't worry, I'll get rid of it soon, because I've been trying to find a decently priced standalone disc of the game, because I've already got the case, so I don't need another one. Next up, Buster Move 4. Another PlayStation/arcade port, developed by Taito, published by Acclaim Entertainment, released on June the 9th, 2000. There's barely any differences between this version and the PlayStation version. It's just basically a faithful port. Like there is a few like minor graphics adjustments, but other than that, it's just the same game as the PlayStation. There's no point in getting it if you already have a PlayStation. Next up is Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000, another port from the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. And this came out on 8th of September 2000. Developed by Acclaim Studios Salt Lake City, published by Acclaim Entertainment. This game is terrible. Like, why was it even made? Why does it even exist? Who knows, maybe to milk out the Jeremy McGrath license or something. Whatever it is, don't buy this game. It's just bland tracks and all that, and Supercross World on the GameCube and PS2 is even worse. Eesh. And next up is a good racing game, and it's another arcade port from Sega. F355 Challenge Passionate Rosa. This was released on 20th of October 2000. I don't know the developer of this one. And of course, since it's another broken case, I have to show it like this. It was later ported to the PlayStation 2 and a couple of other systems. Drop that one. Next up is Looney Tunes Space Race, developed by Infogrames Mobile House and published by Infogrames, and released on November the 3rd, 2000. The only Looney Tunes game on Dreamcast. And it's quite a fun one, really. It's basically a different take on the kart racing genre, although there was Looney Tunes Racing on the PS1, released a month later, which was also quite fun, although I don't own it. And this had none other than cell shading that the Wacky Races game would later game. And it was later ported to the PlayStation 2 with an extra tournament mode added in. Next up is Cow the Kangaroo, or KO the Kangaroo, but it's supposed to be pronounced Cow. So this was developed by X-Ray Interactive, or Tape Multimedia as they're known now, and published by Titus. Yes, the same Titus behind Superman 64, distributed by Virgin Interactive, released on December the 8th, 2000. So this is a port of a PC game made in Poland. It's a mediocre game, to be honest with you. And it has been and the PC version has been re-released on goodoldgames.com, so not the end of the world. Next up is Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX, developed by Z-Axis, published by Acclaim Entertainment, and released also on December the 8th, 2000. So this is basically the BMX version of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise, and then Activision then realised how much these games were successful, and then they made their own, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, which didn't sell as well as this game did, or the sequel. Ugh, come on, Case, you could do it. Come on, Case, do it. Open. Yeah, sometimes they can be quite hard to open. Once again, we have a claim booklet, manual, and the disc. A nice bright orange disc. Now we're on to 2001, the last year the Dreamcast had proper games. Well, 2002 had a game, but it, yeah. Here is Stupid Invaders from Xylem Animation, Tarantula Studios, and published by Ubisoft, based on the Space Goofs cartoon. Released on May the 18th, 2001. So this is one of the two disc games I own, because it requires two GD ROMs. You have disc 1, and then disc 2 is there. Because considering the game was a full motion video title, it did, of course, as I said, require 2 discs. I think the PC version, which came out I think before this one, had 3 CD-ROMs to play, but I don't know. And then the other game I have that also requires 2 discs is Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare, developed by Darkworks and published by Infogrames, and released on June the 22nd, 2001. So it came out the same day as the PlayStation version, and then the Dreamcast port was the source of how Spiral House made the PC and PlayStation 2 versions, the PlayStation 2 version only being released in Europe. I think the PC version came out around the same time, but the PS2 version didn't come out until September of 2001. A much more fitting date than June, because this is a horror game after all, in the Alone in the Dark series. So, there you go. And anyways, this is the end of this video for day 12, and what else should I look at next? You'll just have to see. See you guys next time.